Hey there, everybody. Gen X Man here with a unplanned video here on this beautiful Sunday. All I wanted to do was to do some solo play Marvel superheroes phaser rip, and then this all happens. So, just to recap, I'm sure y'all are up in the news, but in case you're not, very recently, WotC flushed their virtual tabletop sigil down the drain. And right after that, the guy behind it, the guy who was behind the huge push of everything going digital and digital's the future and we need to be a digital video game and a VTT and all this kind of stuff, Chris Ko, he's gone too. And I believe they said he's not fired, but the timing is like, well, okay. His baby gets flushed by corporate and then he's gone. You're like, okay, I can read that writing on the wall. Not that dumb. But then we had some retirements announced, and link to the original article in the description below. Definitely go read it. It's got beautiful, absolutely beautiful corporate spin on everything. Uh, this WotC's VP of Franchise and Product for D&D, Jess Lenzillo, just doing absolute beautiful spin control here. So anyway, Chris Perkins and Jeremy Crawford are both leaving WotC and D&D. And I really didn't care so much for Crawford, but Perkins won me over when he showed up on an episode of Critical Role playing a little kobold splurt. That was great. I enjoyed that. And everybody that has met these folks are just like, oh, they're just the nicest people. Always nice, always generous with their time and their information and such. And you're like, okay. I mean, it sounds like a pretty standard, nice D&D employee, the people that are below management, below corporate. So you're like, okay, that tracks. But Perkins just got promoted, like not even half a year ago, to creative director, overseeing the story direction, the settings for the game, and all that such. And then Crawford moved up to game director, overseeing the rules. And these guys have been the faces for the game in front of the camera for a while. Like you see interviews, you see such, they're always up there. And not even half a year later, they're like, "See ya." And the rumor mill said something about, "Oh, they just wanted to stick around. WotC wanted them to stick around for the launch of the D&D 2024, make sure it went well, and so on and so forth." And I was like, I guess. I mean, I don't know. I got my opinions, but let's discuss the facts first. They say the pair are leaving on their own terms. It's not part of corporate move. You're like, okay. And Lanzilla said both of them have been working on D&D for a very long time. It's been a point of discussion for some time and something that we've been training up everyone for. They feel really good about the teams they have in place and the legacy that they're passing on. And I'm like, okay, so if this has been in the works for a quote unquote very long time, it's why has there not been a hide nor hair of any indication of that? You'd think you'd want to be celebrating. Like if somebody's going out in their own terms and they're like, you know what, I've had a great run, I'm ready to move on. Typically, you hear about it. I mean, there's exceptions to this, obviously, but typically, in something so beloved with so many, positive fans and feedback and such, you'd want to have kind of a celebration. Like, hey, we're departing in 6 months, a year, 3 years, whatever, you know, and people would celebrate them and they'd have videos looking back on their careers and all this kind of such and so on. And this was just literally left field, boom. We're leaving at the end of the month, boom. You're like, that was sudden. Yeah, where's that clip? I was like, well, that escalated quickly. I mean, that really got out of hand. But WotC is claiming both were waiting for the newly revised core rulebooks to come out before leaving the team. Lanzillo said they wanted to make sure that the core rulebooks were really successful, that they were setting up all the future leads for success. That has happened, and I'm like, every indication that, of course, we're not privy to the actual numbers, which is suspicious on itself, but every indication is that sales of the new version are lukewarm at the best and not great at the worst, which makes sense. This is simply a revision, a cleaning up of 5e. Myself, lots of people don't want to drop another 150 bucks for, to fix the typos and include some house rules and so on and so forth. So I do not think that that is an accurate statement that the rulebooks were really successful, but whatever. Screen Rant also confirmed with Lanzillo that Perkins and Crawford's departures were on their own terms and not part of some wider corporate move. Lanzillo says it's one of those things where you finished a major keystone creative project and ask yourself, okay, do I have the next one in me for right now? Do I want to do something a little bit different? I think any creative can identify with that. Okay, or hear me out here. Maybe they just didn't agree with the vision going forward, the plans for the next project. They didn't want to be around because if it's so successful and so great and so on and so forth, and I mean they could coast in their positions and oversee such, and just basically collect a paycheck and ride the accolades and do interviews and such. You know, there are worse gigs. I don't know why you would jump at that point. I would think you would jump. It's some. I just it seems really strange why you would be leaving now unless you saw the road ahead and went. But we'll get to more of that. The article goes on to say the imminent departures will not impact plans for D&D's future, which says to me that these two folks were already non-interactive. If their departure won't impact the game, then apparently they had little to no contribution as it was. The article says something about them. Uh, they had a roadmap planned out for a 5-year plan, a roadmap they call it, and that their departures won't have any impact on any of those changes. I was like, so if they had any input, it's long since passed, and they, like I said, they're just going to coast. So why wouldn't you just show up and collect your paycheck and, it seems. But apparently, I mean, it seems that they've already planned out all the projects and content to such an extent that Perkins and Crawford leaving and Sigil being flushed will have no impact on any of this, which is just very strange. And honestly, it sounded like WotC is just going to coast for the next 5 years, and we don't really need to expect a whole lot out of it. I mean, do they? It's just it's all very sudden, very suspicious. It doesn't sit well with myself and tons of other people that are just like, this is really weird. Why wouldn't you stick around? Everything's going so well, And but the biggest thing to me is that their departures aren't going to impact anything. And Watsy's already got the roadmap for 5 full years, half a decade planned out. And that includes, all the books and the adventures and the magazines and everything is already planned out. So I'm sitting here thinking like, okay, so it's all in the box and we can't really expect anything. I mean, it'll be new to us, but apparently they are already done and put it away and sent it to print and so on and so forth. So, I mean, what if it goes sideways? I don't know that I would plan 5 years in ahead and not be able to pivot if it's not successful. And if you did want to pivot, wouldn't you want these two guys around that saw them through? I mean, arguably one of the best periods in the game. I mean, it's just it's such a shame too. I mean, the Critical Role blowing up 5e and all the independent creators and the podcasts and the just 5e just got disseminated to such a wide audience. I thought, man, D&D is going to be everywhere, and it seems like they just couldn't keep the wheels on the road, which oh God, what a shame. What a shame. I don't know. I don't know, folks. I'll tell you what, leave me a comment down below what your thoughts are, or if you know anything we don't know, or so on and so forth. But I'll cut this short for now. But man, none of this seems particularly good to me. We'll just see how it goes. Anyway, enjoy the good day. Enjoy the good weather, y'all. Have a good one.